natural gas stoves are much better than electric stoves. You get more even cooking.
Natural gas. It comes from the soil or something. Oh no! Like if you fart, right? There's like natural gas, like methane, right? There you go.
So I like natural gas. It's a little bit cleaner, but I do think you run into some of the same problems in terms of extracting it and its like impact on like air and stuff like that and things like that. I feel like that's just a sexier way to say gas.
Definitely all the causes about saving fossil fuels and all that stuff. I'm not very in tune with those things though, so.
Fossil fuels, that's mostly like oil, you know what I mean? And those are finite. I think that's the scariest thing is that they're finite.
I think it would be really interesting to write a novel about what would happen if we ran out of it.
Student responses to our previously posed questions show one thing. There are many meanings and uses of the word gas. Gas can be described to the fuel powering common vehicles or even the propane powering barbecue grills, or quite jokingly, public flatulence. But those types of gas are not natural gas. Natural gas as an energy resource is different. It is composed of methane, ethane, propane, butane, and other chemical compounds. It is also colorless and odorless, which not many people know since distributors usually add an odorant in order to make the presence of gas noticeable.
The world's natural gas deposits have developed over millions of years. Organic material, such as animals and plants, accumulated and settled and were later trapped by layers of sand and silt that eventually became rock. Trapped beneath the rocks, the organic material moved deeper into the Earth's crust and experienced an increase in temperature and pressure, which led it to become oil and gas deposits. Gas is extracted from the earth through drilling, after which it is transported to power plants through pipelines. After other components are removed and used for other purposes, the methane left is combusted to provide energy. This equation describes the combustion process. Methane and oxygen combine to produce carbon dioxide, water, and energy. The energy in this case is approximately 802 kilojoules. We can also see that this process releases carbon dioxide. However, though it is categorized as a fossil fuel, natural gas releases less carbon dioxide emissions than its category means. Natural gas produces about 117 pounds of carbon dioxide per million BTU, as opposed to 200 pounds produced by coal and over 160 pounds by fuel oil. In addition, natural gas could materially impact CO2 emissions in the future by substituting for coal, and will act as a bridge to a low-carbon future. It is also a cleaner burning source of energy, since its combustion only releases carbon dioxide and water, whereas combustion for other fossil fuels release additional harmful pollutants, a few of those being nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide, both previously linked to acid rain. According to a study conducted by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 2010, the projection of the remaining recoverable resources is 150 times the current annual global gas consumption, with gas reserves planning to outlast oil reserves by approximately 60 years. Its abundance and relative lower cost to produce could lead gas prices to be at or below $4 per million BTU and $6 per million BTU for unconventional gas.
We wanted to see what current government policy has to say about natural gas. Here's a few clips on President Obama's energy strategy.
President Obama announcing today that he will allow oil and natural gas drilling off the U.S. East Coast and cancel development in Bristol Bay, Alaska. Obama proposed permitting exploration in the Atlantic Ocean from Delaware south and in the Gulf of Mexico 125 miles off the west coast of Florida. At an event at Andrews Air Force Base today in Maryland, he said, quote, "Given our energy needs, in order to sustain economic growth and produce jobs and keep our businesses competitive, we are going to need to harness traditional sources of fuel even as we ramp up production of new sources."
And to relate to the regular consumer, the driver of today, here's what natural gas can do for the mass population according to one Wall Street
I'm
Journal
driving
reporter.
a Honda Civic GX, which is a Civic LX in most respects, middle of the line Civic. It is powered by compressed natural gas, which is a fuel that is very abundant in the United States. The natural gas industry has a lot of ambitious plans for making natural gas a fuel that many more cars can use in the United States than do today. Like driving a car that's fueled with ethanol, for the most part, you can't tell the difference when you're behind the wheel. I'd say compared to a standard Civic, this car might accelerate a little less aggressively if you really romp on the gas, but that's probably as much a perception as a reality. In every other way, the gauges and the operation of this car, completely standard. Indeed, one advocate of natural gas vehicles complained to me that you don't advertise your greenness with this car. One of the big benefits of natural gas, at least right now, is that compared to gasoline, it's about half the price. I just paid $1.94 for a gallon of gas equivalent of natural gas at the station. You get about 200 miles of range out of a tank, and that's partly because the tank holds less. One downside of the Civic GX, for sure, is that the sticker price on this car is about $6,000 to $7,000 higher than a Civic LX, the car upon which it is based. You can get up to $4,000 in a tax credit to offset that cost. And if you do the math, or do the math in a certain way, it's about 2 to 3 years to pay off the difference. One other thing that you can do if you have a car like this is you can buy for about $5,000 a unit called a fill unit that can tap into your home natural gas line, assuming you have one, and refuel your car overnight.
And if our points didn't convince you already, let's take a word from Kramer of Mad Money, who has been exalting natural gas and nudging the United States to adopt it like other countries worldwide.
I love renewable fuels. Hey, solar. Hopefully sugar and not corn-based ethanol, because we are tired of our food for oil plan that's crucifying mankind on a cross of ethanol and making chicken and beef too expensive for you. I know those are the fuels of the future. But they're the fuels of the far future. In the interim, there's coal, there's oil, there's nuclear, and there's nat gas. Let's go through these, Hillary and Obama. Coal, clean coal, oxymoron. Nukes, not in my backyard. Oil, running out. Natural gas, bingo!
That was easy.
It's clean, it's plentiful. That's right. There are still many finds to be had. Witness the Marcellus Shale in Pennsylvania, which could be an enormous source of natural gas and jobs. And it's just now being developed.
To summarize, natural gas, unlike other fossil fuels, is clean burning and emits fewer contaminants. Its relatively lower cost and availability of reserves makes it a bridge to a future with a lower carbon environment. Natural gas provides a promising outlook for the future. Still, we should not stop exploring the possibilities with new renewable technologies, as they too promise to make positive contributions in our near future. Natural gas, can you dig it?